Welcome, Wapham crew. Secure your tinfoil hats, buckle down tight, and hold on loosely as we soar over the rocky tops of the La Platas on a rocky mountain high. Get sucked into the vortex of the Four Corners and settle down snugly at mile marker 420 in colorful Colorado. It is Saturday, February 26th, Sunday, February 27th for those of you across the pond and beyond. Welcome to We Are Paradox Media's Late Night in the Rockies. I'm your host, TessaTNT, and we are broadcasting live tonight from the Mile High Clubhouse. So I hope you guys had an awesome weekend so far. Please, if you do have time, even a moment, pray for Ukraine, because those guys are going through so much right now, and they're actually holding their own very well. They're also giving weapons to just regular citizens, and they're outlawing people leaving from the age of 20 to 60 as far as males. So it's been pretty crazy. But if you're listening live right now, you're listening to us on Spreaker.com. Also, you could be listening to us through kpnl-db.com. If you want to listen to us on your free time, whether you're working out, or working it, check us out on Spreaker once more, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iTunes, iHeartRadio, CastBox, Tumblr, SoundCloud, TuneIn Radio, Deezer, Podcast Addict, and Podcast Chaser. Make sure you head over and check out our Facebook and Twitter. We're generally sharing the thought from the day from the universe, and it's generally pretty uplifting. And make sure you go and check us out on YouTube and follow and like us there. Make sure you give that bell a little tickle, or, if you like, give it a little kick in the ass. That way, next time we have a show come out, you will be well aware of it. So tonight, generally, on the last Saturday of the month, we do the Paradox Paranormal Forum. That a lot of people are in different places, a lot of people are unavailable, so I was just going to read some stories for you. But my friend, Psychic Medium Mr. Craig Leaflorr, chimed in and talked to me earlier today, and he's like, hey, we doing a show tonight? So I'm super grateful, because I always feel like people are bored, even though I have people say, I love your story time, but I'd much rather have some company than just reading to you on my own. Welcome, Craig, and thanks so much for hanging out with us tonight.
Thanks for having me.
So
great talking with you.
Yeah, there is a lot to talk about. And I just love talking to you anyways, because you're so awesome and informative, and I always really have a good time with you. But I'm super grateful that you're like, hey, are we doing a show tonight? And I was like, looking at my calendar, not so far as I know, but, we could have talked about it. Guess what? I've been saying it's January for the last month. And then on my son's homework, I've been saying it's February. So, yeah, I'm finally somewhere in the middle for the last few days of the month. Look at what COVID does.
Right?
Yeah. But
so it's been interesting what we're hearing on the news.
For sure.
I'm thinking I'm going to take Putin's side for a little while.
Oh yeah? Why is that?
Yeah. Well, 8 years ago, Ukraine was part of Russia. And they had a vote and went Democratic. Now, that's all.
Oh, okay. So you're saying you're Republican. No, I'm just kidding.
Right.
You're part of the Republic. No, I'm just kidding.
Just for now. We'll go for 20 minutes on the Republican side. So, when this happened, Crimea is full of natural resources. So there's gas, there's oil, there is water is huge. Now, Crimea happens to be all the agriculture. So when Ukraine separated, they built a dam on the major river going into Crimea.
Damn.
Which killed all the crops. Hence why a lot of Russian people, one, are on a time limit of when they can use water, and the food is shit.
Yeah, it sounds like Colorado and Mexico.
Right? So, in one aspect, I see Putin going, we need our resources back. The only way to get our resources back is by taking Ukraine back. Really, I think they should both get into an agreement where they're sharing those resources. That would make sense.
Yeah, and it does make sense. And my friend Jason, who's now my roomie, he's saying not only gas. Okay, so I went today and I filled up my gas tank, aka diesel, and it's still at $3.69. But according to a gas station owner that my brother-in-law knows, it's going to be going up within the next week. And so I went today and I topped off, and it cost me $101. But it's better than $151 or $52, you know, which is going to be pretty soon, or more than that for me having diesel. Diesel used to be cheaper, but then they caught on to it and made it more expensive because everybody started buying diesel vehicles. But anywho's, yeah, and what you're saying about the crops and stuff, like a lot of our wheat and a lot of other things that we use for our bread, etc., comes from Ukraine. Not just our gas, but wheat and other things. And so a lot of things are going to be sparse, and prices on food is going to go up anyways because truckers need gas. Therefore, the prices on food is going to go up, no matter if it's wheat-based or whatever else they grow or whatnot. It's kind of crazy. It kind of makes me dizzy thinking about it. I'm like, holy crikey. This affects the whole world.
I thought it was going to get bad with just the COVID. And now this is like kind of over the top, right?
Yeah, we ain't seen nothing yet.
No. I am grateful in a way that NATO, in one way, I'm glad NATO's staying out of it because they're on the outside with all the NATO countries. And they're saying that Putin drops one bomb, he's done. NATO will come in and just wipe them out. But Putin's not that dumb. Putin is not going to put any bombs anywhere except Ukraine.
Well, yeah, and they've sent a lot more bombs than anybody expected. Everyone's like, yeah, they're going to do this missile fire. And you know how it's like kind of timid at first? Well, they're just like boom, boom, boom. Kind of like the 4th of July. And not only were they hitting bases, but they actually hit some apartment complexes. That was very sad. But you were saying that he is originally from Ukraine. His mother is from Ukraine. His father's from Russia. So he's half and half. And I don't know if you saw the thing that he wrote. It seemed very like in-depth and heartfelt. And it was a very nice thing that he wrote, talking about, you know, how we should be one, just like United States and Canada are separate. We should be one, etc., etc. Like, he had some really good points going on, but at the same time, you don't go in and take love by force or family by force. You can't fucking do that. And that's what he's doing.
And like, give him a cloth to wipe this shit off.
Right? It's like, I'm sorry I flung that shit at you. Here's a cloth. No, it's not that simple.
So it really is interesting on how this is going to play out. You know, theoretically, yes, I think they should be working together. If they work together, maybe Russia would become more democratic, having to work with a different country.
Yeah, and shit, where was I going to go just now? Okay, so do you remember? I keep thinking it was Socrates or someone like that. Someone that actually foresaw this. And so it was the eagle, the bear, and the dragon. So we got the eagle. No, not the eagle yet. We're just still sitting on the outskirts, which to me is pretty fucked up because these guys are pretty helpless, but they're really holding their own. They're really doing a good job. But yeah, China is actually as well on the outskirts saying, I think you guys need to talk and work this out. So I have a little hope now that I saw and read that. I was just like, holy crap, China's going to come in next because they have been flying over Taiwan and doing like practice flights, etc. So people are freaking out over there. But so far, China's like, hey, you guys should work this out. But maybe that's what they're saying on the outskirts, and they're saying something otherwise on the inside between them and Putin. I don't know, but I'm hoping they stand back.
Yeah. I think they're waiting to see what NATO does. Now, which is hard, right? Because Ukraine wants to be a part of NATO.
Yeah, and that's where a
But
big part of it comes from too, as far as Putin. He does not want
yeah,
them to join NATO. And they're
no,
thinking about it,
no.
they're wanting to do it, and he's like, oh, hell no, I'm going to cut this off, cut the head off before you get any further. So I think it has to do with, like you said, all the goods and such that they have, as well as they want to join NATO. Which, why wouldn't you? That's a pretty cool club, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. And if they join NATO, I was looking at the specs of tanks versus NATO's tanks or Ukraine's tanks, which are like, I think it was like 1,300 tanks, and Russia had 14,000. Well, NATO has 20,000 tanks. So to go against NATO, Russia's done for. It would be quick, fast, sufficient, and that would be it. But there'd be so much bloodshed. So I don't think anyone really wants to go to that extent.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. The crazy thing that I saw the other day, did you see where that tank ran over a civilian vehicle?
Unreal.
Wasn't that crazy? He like they're
And
both going their opposite ways, and he all of a sudden, ran. It's kind of like playing World
that
of
was,
Tanks. Why would you do that to a civilian except for they're giving weapons to civilians? But this old man was just trying to get away or get home.
was the tank out of control?
No, he was on a.
'Cause-
I will send it to you, but he was on a perfect course, and then he sees
Yeah,
his car coming, so he goes over there. He not only runs it over, he sits on it for a while,
that's right.
and then he pulled off. And then the people from the apartments, you could hear them screaming,
Yeah,
and it's a total chaotic experience for everyone involved. Like, it's giving me chills right now just thinking about
yeah.
that. But they
And
came
the guy
out, and
survived.
yeah, they came out and they took their, jimmies and everything else, took the car apart and got the old man
That's right.
out, and he was still alive. I'm so grateful that he was. But oh my gosh, why? The only
Yeah,
thing I can think of is because the government is giving civilians weapons, so he could be like, oh, he's trying to see where we're coming from, or give information to
yeah. Like
operatives.
there could have been a convoy behind that tank,
Yeah, I didn't see
right?
one, but
And
maybe they're
maybe,
slower moving. I don't know. Yeah, he could be the,
yeah,
what do they call it? The spotter or whatnot.
yeah, yeah. I, I watched it quite a few times. Going, did the tank lose control, or did he purposely go for that car? Right?
It was
And at
so
some point,
precise. He was on a straight path and he just veered over. Perfect. Perfect timing.
yeah,
Like, I say, if I was Russian, this guy did a very good job, okay? But yeah, he ran over it perfectly, just sat there for a little bit, like, let's just let this
yeah,
weight kick in. Yep, okay, that feels good. But I think they just perfectly missed him with the tracks. I think the track went over the front and the back and left, well, even though it was all crushed, left that part of it not so crushed. That
I
guy is
couldn't
so
imagine.
lucky.
Could you imagine driving that car? Going,
No,
what the hell?
I would
What?
have swerved off the road or something, but you never know. Like, you could freeze up in that moment.
Yeah, I'd
Ooh.
freeze up, I think.
Yeah, me too. I'd be like, what the yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, what the
crazy.
fuck is going on here? What is that tank really coming at me right now? Why? And I think he did
Yeah,
actually slow down too. I think he was just like,
and it was seconds,
yeah,
right? Like the guy had seconds
less than a
to
minute. Yeah,
crazy shit.
less than 10 seconds, I would say. Like, it was from.
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh.
Did you see that video of Russia bombing a apartment building, but it was a family taking the video, and the little girl screams in terror, thinking
I don't think
like
I
her
saw
place
that
is
one.
getting bombed.
Yeah, because that child's voice would have really, really broke my heart. Every video I've seen so far has been a bunch of adults screaming like ah. But yeah, I did not see that one.
It was scary. Like, you, as an adult, you can tell because the parents are showing the camera, over a couple blocks. But the sheer loud noise and the kind of crash and bang, it obviously scared the little child and just broke out in fear. It was like, oh my God, why? It was bad enough we were over in Afghanistan and we left them high and dry.
Yeah, that was sad. We pulled out way too soon, I think. Yes, I do understand being a soldier and how you long to be with your family. And yes, it's taking a lot of money to do this by the government, but how could you do that? Like, we did. We left them high and dry with no faculties or anything. It's like, now what are they doing?
And it's too bad because Trump gave that timeline. So the timeline was set. So when Biden got into power, he had nothing he could do except follow that timeline. And it was just a fiasco, complete fiasco. Like, there's still soldiers there that aren't out yet.
Yeah, and there's still American citizens there as well.
Yeah.
Oh man, now we're hiding in the caves and tunnels instead of the other way around.
Yeah.
That is so fucked up. Like, they have plenty of time to do this. Like, now that the dust is kind of settled, let's go back in and grab people, dress them up as Muslims, put some darker paint on your face, whatever the fuck you need to do to get the hell out of there.
And I guess I saw a report that Biden was able to get the head of Al-Qaeda again. The new head of Al-Qaeda.
Seriously? It's so amazing what's not in the news and what is, and all the junk that's in there too, to be like, look at this hand while this hand is doing this, It's such a clusterfuck.
Actually, someone was saying that too on Facebook. So everybody is looking at Putin and what he's doing in Ukraine. What's he doing somewhere else?
Well, like I said, behind the scenes, okay, up front, China's like, hey, I think you guys should really work this out, but they're doing their test flights, they're doing all this other shit. They're getting ready to come in and pull their part of it. So they've set off, they've sent several rockets, etc., etc. You set a bomb. So what sort of bomb are we looking for to where NATO, aka the USA, will get involved? Because I know they sent in 7,000 troops, and then they sent in another 7,000 troops just recently.
But they're only on the borders.
Yeah, they're just
not in Ukraine.
No, they're in NATO countries on the borders waiting. So what actual sort of bomb are they waiting for? Because look at what they've done and the citizen casualties, etc. that's going on.
They're waiting for any bomb to land on any NATO country, period.
Oh, okay.
I think it could be a firecracker, and it would game on. But Russia won't do that.
That's not right, and it's like, it's so crazy to me as well because European countries aren't stepping in. They're like, no, not my problem. I'm like, seriously, why?
And they live right next door. Like, they're right next door. Like, 15 kilometers away is another NATO country going, we're not going to do nothing. And it's sad that, it's sad that, U.S. and Canada from the other side of the world have to worry about someone else's neighbor, in a way.
Yeah. My friend in the chat room, she's a sister of mine. She lives up in BC, and she said they're going to be using an island out there this weekend to do some training. So maybe they are.
Which one?
She didn't specify, but she said an island nearby. They're going to be doing some military training. So I think they're like warming up, getting ready for the major workout. But somebody needs to step in. Like this to me is like if you were in school and there's a kid being bullied and you're like, well, I'm not going to step in until he breaks his nose or something. Like,
Right.
come on, do the right
Yeah.
thing. Step in. Why the fuck aren't you doing this? Except for this could lead to World War III. But as soon as they hit those civilian complexes and all these kids and families and such dying from that, like that for me would be enough to go in there. Not, oh,
Yep.
well, you hit a country that I'm in league with, so yes, Ukraine did want to join NATO, and then now you guys are fucking them over, so what's going to make them want to join NATO after this? And they keep calling out to Western civilizations and such. Like,
Well,
could you
and
come
that's
and
what
help
Putin's
us?
going to say. Is going to say, where were they?
Yeah, where were they in your time of need?
Join me
Mm-hmm.
because I'm here for you, right?
And
what you
were saying about Putin being from Ukraine. So I believe his mother was from Ukraine and his father was from Russia, vice versa. But he's a part of each, and so that's where his big speech sort of essay or whatever the heck he did, which was very touching. It was very nice, but do what you say and not what you do. Come on.
Yeah. No,
fucking dictator.
He definitely talks like a KGB. He is a KGB, right? At the end of the day, that was his main life, was
when he was younger,
being
right?
a KGB and killing you. That was his job. So he definitely still had that mindset. You're going to do what I say, and you're going to do it now, or I'm going to fucking kill you, right? And nobody else in the world besides Trump, in a way, has that mentality of just saying this is the way it is, and if you don't like it, too bad.
Oh well, you'll get over it eventually.
So, economically speaking, for everyone, this is going to destroy a lot of people.
Yeah, just because we're not there during the war, it's still affecting us. We get our gas, crude oil, etc. from Ukraine. We get our wheat and other things from Ukraine. We're pretty much fucked. The price of gas is going to go up, so truckers are going to charge more to deliver these goods. That makes the price of food go up, plus the absence of food that Ukraine is growing for us. Like, I don't know, it's crazy.
Well, even the bread, the past 3 years with COVID, notice all the loaves of breads are getting smaller?
Yes!
Okay,
I thought it was just me.
Well. No, here in Canada too. And they were saying it's part of the wheat. It's not as healthy. And
yeah, it could have parasites or something.
The yeast isn't expanding like it did.
Oh, shit. Monsanto.
Who?
Monsanto. They actually took over all the seeds and genetically modified them and made it to where plants that produce fruit, the seeds that grow from that will not reproduce, as well as other things. When you mess with genetics of certain things, it really messes up the whole system. Leave that shit alone.
Absolutely. And I don't understand, even for Canada, like we send crude oil to the United States, to you guys. You clean it up, and then we buy it back. Which, shouldn't we be taking care of that ourselves? And same with you guys. Shouldn't you use your own refineries and use it instead of sell it?
Well, I think the whole ideal is let's hoard all this stuff for when we really, really need it. And so everybody is pleading to Sleepy Joe, aka Biden, hey, could you open up our, refineries to where we can sell our stuff, our own people, blah, blah, blah. And also they're asking to have access to federal lands to do more drilling because, I don't know, maybe it'll cost less. I'm not sure because they're putting rigs all over the freaking place out here in Colorado.
Are they?
Yeah.
Yeah, we only see that out in Edmonton here. Other than that, there is no other oil fields besides maybe up north. But here in Ontario, you don't see them at all.
Yeah, here everywhere I go, I see those little jackasses bucking and bronking, pulling
So
oil out of the world.
you would think you guys would be set with gas forever.
Yeah, and I think we are, but I think, like I said, I think the government's like, let's hoard this. You know, kind of like food and stuff, like the Mormons do. Let's store this food, let's store this gas until we really, really need it, until shit hits the fan. Well, guess what? That's about now, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be like the guy that I saw at the store today. I was telling him, yep, went and filled up the tank. It cost me $101 because I still had a little bit of gas left in there, and just getting ready for the price increase. And he's like, what? I was waiting for Memorial Day or something. I'm like, no, gas station owner just told my brother-in-law that this coming week is going to go up to at least $5 per gallon. So I'm trying to hit it before that happens. So instead of paying 150 or 70, I'm paying 101. Like I'd be happy with that. But holy shnikes, it's going to get bad.
Yeah, I have a Caravan, and normally it's 80 to fill, and it's at 105, I think now.
Oh wow, yeah, it's been rising anyways.
Yeah, where it's at 150 a liter, so we go by liters.
How many liters does it take to make a gallon? Is it like 2 or 3? I can't remember.
4 liters per gallon.
4 liters per gallon. Okay, holy shit.
So, right, like we're gonna be up in the $6-7 range.
Yeah, how much did you say it was per liter?
150.
Holy crap.
151.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I don't know, lots of walking.
Yeah, and just because we're not there living in Ukraine, or we're not there partaking of the war, it still affects us.
Absolutely.
Because Ukraine was really smart. They got on board with, shipping out oil products, etc., wheat, so on and so forth. Like I said before, probably the 4th time. But they were really smart about it, and I think that's what Russia really wants. Like, I don't understand why the rest of Russia, maybe it's too far north or whatever, but why can't they do that on their own? Just that little small portion right next to Ukraine, they could do the same fucking thing, but maybe they're just not doing it.
The water.
Oh. Is that...
That's really what's completely screwed their economy, is no water.
What is wrong with the water, or there's just none?
Ukraine built a dam. On the other side of the dam, the river's dry. There's no water going.
Well, they need to come to some sort of agreement, just like here in Bayfield. Most of our water comes from Vicedo, and we go through water shares, etc., We have an agreement. We pay for this, you give us that. So maybe...
Well, it's like Lake Michigan. Canada and the States both get water from Lake Michigan. It's just that's what we do. And really, they should be doing that over there as well. But
maybe they're like still going through their lovers' quarrel or whatever. Because, like you said, they separated like 8 years ago.
They need a divorce.
Yeah. Instead of the separation, they need a full divorce. But Putin ain't putting up with that.
So, yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with that agriculture and Russia not being able to feed their own people like they used to.
Yeah, but at the same time, Russia has been pretty hardcore long before Ukraine separated.
Well, they separated for a reason, right? And, there's not too many Russians that would say they want communism. They all want democracy. And they want to be able to live their life and be free to speak their mind. Just like in China, if you go against them, you're in jail, period. You're gone. You don't get a second chance. You go to jail. And that's the way Putin is as well. You talk against him and you're going to jail or you're getting beat down. So, being stuck in that kind of environment, I try and kind of revolt or leave or do something too, right?
Yes. But then I'm kind of confused because you said you're on the side of Putin. Is it because you always go for the underdog or what?
I just thought I'd be the other guy. I
Yeah.
don't know, just trying to throw a screw into things.
Hey, that makes it more interesting, right?
It,
I'm
it
not
does.
talking down about it, but I'm just like, okay, wait a minute.
No, I totally think Ukraine, for its people, they voted. Everyone voted and voted democracy. So good on them and good for them. But you still got to play nice with your neighbors. And maybe Ukraine isn't playing that nice to Russia.
I don't think so. I
But
think that
I
Putin is a psychotic narcissist, and that's just kind of where I stand. I've been with
yes,
guys like that before. I can see it from a fucking how many thousand
mile
miles
away.
away?
No, he
Yeah.
definitely is um, a dictator, right? Like it's his way or the highway, and he doesn't care who he kills. Um, so in those aspects, I think Russia did better with Gorbachev.
Right?
When you're tearing down the wall, the only problem was he liked to drink a little.
Yeah, but I could see. Man, I'm about to sneeze, but hold on. Okay, so if it were tearing down the wall right now with Putin, I could see him sending missiles. Gorbachev, just let it be, let it
Yeah,
happen.
yeah. I think Putin would be killing people.
Yeah, he just can't stand for that.
Yeah. And they were saying that today he is the richest man in the world.
Yeah, they're
Because
Go ahead.
he keeps all the funds for himself, but he eats great. It's the rest of people in the country that don't eat, right?
Yeah. Also, I was hearing about all these different vetoes and the banking system, etc., etc. Watching all these different news outlets and gaining information. And they're saying perhaps he might be using some sort of cryptocurrency because they're now shutting down the banking system, not just for him, but people that are in league with him as far as the richest people in that country, etc. So they're shutting down all these other people, and they're like, what about Putin? You would think they'd hit Putin first.
Well,
Um,
I thought they did. I thought
yeah.
they hit him and his family.
No, from what I heard, it's just they're hitting Russia and freezing Russia's like banking system, but they have not yet hit Putin, and they're also hitting everybody around him that supports him. And I'm like, why the fuck didn't they hit Putin in the first place? Like that's what I'm not understanding.
Yeah,
That was just crazy to me. You should have hit Putin first, and then the country, and then those around him.
yeah,
Not the other way around, but who
yeah.
knows? I'm not a marketing expert or whatever, but holy shit.
That crypto stuff is awesome.
Yes, it is. I actually
I'm
have
in.
some.
Me too. And I'll wait the 10 years. I'll put my money away and I'll wait the 10 years and pull out my Bitcoin at 70,000 a share. Wouldn't that be so awesome?
That'd be freaking nice. I just like hate that I missed the whole like upsweep when everybody's like, "Hey, we're millionaires," and I didn't realize I still had any Bitcoin left at that point. Because they gave me a notification. They said I misused my Bitcoin because I bought weed seeds. And so they're like, so you can no longer use Coinbase. And so I thought I just lost all my funds, but I had Bitcoin and I had BTW, which is basically the cash version of it.
Yeah,
And so now I have about $1,600 in there. But yeah, it's you know
good. That's still better than nothing.
right.
I'm
Especially, go ahead.
I don't have that much in yet. but I keep throwing in as much as I can on Solvana, AMP, OXO,
Yeah.
and a few others. Bitcoin is just too expensive at 40,000 or 50,000 a share.
Yeah, I actually got in there pretty early, and I put $100 in, and I bought almost $100 worth of seeds, and then I had some left over, and that just grew and grew and grew. So, like, it's much more than it was in the first place. It's kind of like my safety net. I haven't invested in those other ones that you've talked about. I have invested in Dogecoin because of Elon Musk, and I'm just like, you know.
He pissed me off. I put $75 on that motherfucker, and then right down zero. And now it's coming back up a little, but it's not going to be. It's not going to be going to Mars. It was what an asshole. He made so much money off that.
Well, yeah, and he's been like, saying things, and everybody's like, well, could you let people pay for Tesla vehicles, etc., with Dogecoin? And so sometimes he'll come out and he'll say something about Dogecoin, and that's when it shoots up. But I'm just holding on to mine, and I keep buying it when it's really, really small because I think eventually it'll go somewhere because I think he is also somewhat narcissistic, and that's something related to him. So eventually it's going to do something big because he just can't help himself. He's just kind of like playing that game with everybody who's like, please, please, could you just do this? So he's just leaving everyone waiting.
He's smart. He definitely knows what he's doing, right? All he has to do is say one thing and everybody buys. And he pulls out his money and says, thank you.
Thank you. Have a nice day. Like, he really fucking needs it.
Yeah. But no, crypto is interesting. I really do like it now.
Well, now they're saying, like, it's the wave of the future. A lot of these people like Putin, people in Iraq and Iran, etc., people that have their banks frozen can actually still do things with Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies.
Ethereum more, yeah. Yeah, and here in Canada, they're already talking about how they can tax everybody that has cryptocurrency.
They can try.
They can try, and I hope that never happens. But, yeah. Because that's my secret bank account, right?
Me too. That's my retirement fund. It's not a lot, but shit. At least I got something. I don't want to work at Walmart as a door greeter. Come on.
Right? I did find somebody for that case out in North Carolina.
Good. Did you find it through the paranormal directory?
No.
Or?
Elite Paranormal. Jeremy, Robert Murphy. He does serious cases like myself, and he's going to go take care of that one for me.
That's awesome. I'm so glad you found somebody, because I was like, man, I can't even think of anybody, but let it be known, I had just woken up because I stay up all night, not just because of my nocturnalness or what is that thing called? My husband just said, he just said I had that the other day.
Sleep apnea?
No, not sleep apnea, but where you can't sleep.
Yes.
I can't think of the word, but yeah, not just because of that, but because now instead of using electric heat, we're using firewood as heat, so I have to tend the fire every 2 to 3 hours. And so basically, as soon as I go to sleep, I have to wake up, so basically I stay awake till a certain hour, and then I hope that my roommate will take care of it during the day, unless he's working. And then it's warmer, but yeah, so no longer electric heat. But yeah, that keeps me up all night, just keeping the house warm, because that's the coldest hours of the day, really.
Yeah, we've gone through a lot of wood this year. Kind of been damp, and then cold, not cold, but still damp, right? Where you still need to burn the wood.
Yeah, penetrating cold.
Yeah. So definitely burnt more wood this year so far than we've had previous.
Yeah, my husband was saying, like, we go through 2 cords a month, and I'm like, listen here, I've got 2 cords, and it's lasted me almost till spring comes. We got about, I think 5 or 6 more loads before we're out of wood, but we're doing pretty good. By the time March gets here, the wood will be gone. Maybe not. Just depends on how warm or cold it is.
We go through 4 to 6. This year will be more like 6.
Yeah, and we didn't start using wood until the end of December. That's when Volunteers of America stepped in because Vern did go into the ICU and then into a medicated coma due to COVID. And then I got a hold of them, and she not only gave me 2 cords of wood, but she put like almost $1,000 on my electric bill for the blower. So that was freaking awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing, the community out there. I mean, it's crazy to me, like the people that I thought would be there for me that aren't, and then the people that I never thought would that are. It's just pretty awesome how the world works.
Yeah, very grateful. Very
so
grateful for all
so eternally grateful. Like, I don't know where I'd be right now without everyone. So thank you to anyone that helped me, because that was freaking amazing. It just like the Grinch, my heart grew like 6 sizes.
Yeah, but he's home and he's doing great.
Yeah, he's not quite home yet. He's 2 houses down because my daughter has basically floors, aka linoleum, and we have carpet here for the most part. And the walker takes up a lot of space, and we don't have a lot of space, so he's waiting till he can walk with at least a cane before he comes home. But that's his number one goal, is to come home. But at least he's out of the hospital, and he's getting stronger every day, and it's just amazing. The nurse, she's like, I don't mean to be morbid, but most people that come into the ICU don't make it out. So yeah, they were calling him the Miracle Child, and he turned it into Miracle Man because, he has to be a man about it.
Right.
But yeah, it's been going really, really good. So just thank you, everyone who said prayers and put out that positive energy, because it really, really did help.
So do you have any cases coming up?
No. We actually have one down in Arizona. And this lady's old man, she said she thinks something was wrong. She thinks he might have been cursed because he was acting really strange a couple weeks before his death. And then the day of his death, like, he just grew more and more distant. Perhaps he had some sort of premonition where he's like, I need to get distant from them so they could take it better. But yeah, he got in a pretty horrific car accident, and he's still floating around. She gave his guitar and some other things to some family members, and any room that the guitar was in, there was a major haunting, so they gave it back. Also, in the site where his car accident was, there's been a sighting of a truck with its lights on, and then somebody will approach the truck and the truck disappears. And then there's also been sounds of like a man screaming in that same area, and people will go over to see if somebody needs help, and then there's nobody there. So yeah, so I don't know if like it happens so fast that he doesn't know he's dead, or what's happening. So we want to go down and investigate it, but with COVID it's just been pretty wonky as far as the paranormal field goes.
They need to be crossed over for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, the one in North Carolina, they bought a pickup truck, a used pickup truck. The previous owner committed suicide in the truck. I guess in the garage with, the car running and the hose going in the window type thing. Her husband likes to put his chair in the flatbed or in the back of the pickup truck, and that's where he sits when he goes outside. Not on the lawn, in the truck. Or in the back of the pickup.
Yeah, it's like the box seats. He's got the best view.
Yeah. So that's a little weird, right? Obviously, there's an attachment starting.
So, like the car, not the car, but the chair keeps ending up in the back of the truck, or what?
No, her husband keeps putting the chair in the back of the truck to sit in the back of the truck.
That's what I'm saying, but he's not here anymore, right?
No, her husband is here.
Oh, okay.
So they bought the used vehicle from a family.
Oh my gosh!
The guy killed himself in that truck, but now her husband is fixated on being with that truck. So when he wakes up, instead of sitting on the porch, he gets in the truck.
That's pretty creepy.
So, right? And she's saying he's totally different. All her animals are dying, horses, dogs, cats. So it's a twofold. One is the husband and the truck, and the other part of native land.
Yeah.
And needing to do a blessing with that land and basically make a deal with the native spirits.
So has she talked to like Native American medicine men or whatnot to see if they would come in and bless the property? Because that's where I would start.
She went to 2 paranormal teams. I'm not going to say who they are, but they're not like us. They came in and said, "Yeah, you got something nasty in here.
Have a good day."
Yep. See ya.
Jeez.
So that's why she reached out to me, and I'm grateful that she was able to reach out.
Me too.
That she actually get some help. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks we can get her that help and set her free. Set her husband free as well, right? Like that's an attachment, right? Where the previous
trying to take him over
gentleman is attached to the new gentleman, so to speak.
Yeah, it started with the truck and then it spread like an ugly virus.
Yeah. Wild, eh?
Yeah, that is crazy. And I think anytime, maybe they found it in a junkyard, maybe some car lot bought it from the family, who knows? Because it wasn't, an ugly bloody thing. It was just gas fumes.
Right.
Yeah, it's just like a house. They need to let that person know what happened in that vehicle before, because anybody watch that movie Christine?
Right.
You got to be careful with that stuff because things do attach. How many people do you know where their lamb of their life or whatever of their heart is their vehicle? Like, that's their most important thing.
And with people that have committed suicide, it happens so quick. Because one, they really don't want to, right? When it comes right down to it, and now it's too late, their soul still happened so quickly, and they died so quickly that 90% of them don't cross over unless someone like us crosses them over because they're not given a guide. When you die, you have a guide, and your guide takes you to where you're going. With suicide, I don't think they're given that guide because it's not their time.
Yeah. I don't know. There's so much speculation with that, and a lot of people think automatically if a person kills themselves, they automatically go to hell. And I don't agree with that, and I don't know where I found it, and I haven't been able to find it since, but I do remember reading when I was in seminary, which is like a Bible study class for Mormons, that there is a place in heaven for tortured souls because, I don't know, you're not killing another person, you're taking your own life because your suffering was so harsh or you just didn't see another way out.
And that's mental illness, right?
Yeah.
And how can you say send somebody to hell because of a mental illness? It's not their fault. They have mental illness. It's a chemical imbalance. If it's anyone's fault, it's God's fault for giving them a chemical imbalance.
Right.
Right? not their fault. So, and like my daughter has bipolar and personality disorder. So I go through that a lot. And she always talks about suicide, and which is pretty scary.
Mine too, yeah. What do you do?
What can you do?
Well, I just try to be there for them, even when she lashes out at me and stuff. I just try to be there for her and try not to fight back, but sometimes I have to state my point because I'm being attacked, but at the same time,
I'm more
like...
blunt with her.
Yeah, I do that too. It makes me feel bad, but I have to let her know.
Snap out of it. What the fuck? Snap out of it. Look what you're doing. Snap the fuck out of it. And then she, I hate you. You're not my dad. Whatever.
Yeah, I am.
But she snapped out of it.
Yeah.
Right? So, it's kind of a love-hate relationship when she gets in that manic state. But I don't pull any punches just because she's in that state.
No.
If anything, I go stronger that I have to get through her manic phase.
Yeah, her manic episode.
And try to almost piss her off to get her out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And, well, it's always about everybody else. No, it's not always about you. And, well, you know, so.
Yeah, and a lot of that is a teenager thing, like, the world revolves around me. No, honey, boo-boo, it don't.
No.
The world revolves around the sun, and you're just a part of the world, and, yeah, there's a lot of realizations that they have to come to, but they do have those manic episodes where it's just, like, one way or another as far as love and hate, anger and happiness, whatever.
Quick. Yeah. Could be getting a hug 1 minute and a plate flying across the room the next.
I know. Me and my daughter, we were having a peaceful conversation, and I was like, well, don't worry about it because, you know, it's a new semester, and she got all pissed off immediately, and it made me cry. I was like, why are you so mad at me right now? I was saying, this is the beginning of a new semester. It's like a new start, okay? So... that's what I was saying, and she said, oh, well, I thought you were saying it's the beginning of a new semester, so it's too late. No, that's not what I was saying. Communication issues. But yeah, at least I was able to say that and kind of save the conversation, but holy shnikes, it's like, what did I say? I was just saying it's a new beginning, like, what the fuck? But yeah, they can hear things a certain way, other than you say.
I can take my emotion out of it.
Huh?
I think, because I'm a guy, I can just kind of close that off and say, fuck it, right? I don't have...
Well, generally, I'd be okay, but this was, like, shortly after Vern got put into his medically induced coma, and everything is pretty raw so far as that goes, but, yeah. So I was very fragile at the moment. I was like, I thought we were having a good conversation. What the fuck just happened? And she's like, well, you said this. And I was like, no, what I was saying is, it's a new semester, a new beginning, so you have another chance.
Yeah, don't worry about the past. Just worry about what's coming. Yeah.
It's so hard to deal with that, but you just have to, I don't know, gain a new perspective or have a different perspective or whatnot. It's pretty intense.
Any perspective they want you to have, that's the one you have. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, on that note, Craig, we do have to go to our first music break.
All right.
Alrighty. So on this break, we have Prime Example, which is from Wisconsin, and they're featuring Carolyn Giles with Dancing Machine. And then we have Gravity from Krakow, Poland with Throw You Away, as well as Take a Walk in My Shoes. And then Fred Johnson the Thoid from Canyon County, California with Sugar. You guys don't go anywhere. We'll be right back in a little over 14 minutes.
dance off. I really love it how your body's so soft. Dance all night, little lady, it's your call. Step, 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 baby, follow my lead. You and me showing off for the club to see. No time to get rest, we doing our thing. Cha-cha, then we dip, top it off with a spin. Glide across the floor, let's do it again. By the way, little mama, can we be friends? I can't let this night just end. I really wanna know if I can see you again. Give me your number, we'll get back on the scene. We can hit another club if that's your thing. We'll be partners in crime, you and me, as we ripping up floors like two dancing machines.
thinking all the things you said you need. Why don't you tell me, baby, how do you feel? As I walk down the street, thinking all the things you said you need. Why don't you tell me, baby, how do you feel? Don't you take a walk? Why don't you take a walk? In my shoes, why don't you take a walk? Before you tell me what to do, why don't you take a walk? Why don't you take a walk? In my shoes, why don't you take a walk? Before you tell me what to do. No, it's easy, you tell me what to do. Have you ever stopped to think all the things that I've been through? No, it's easy, you tell me what to do. Have you ever stopped to think all the things that I've been through? Why don't you take a walk? Why don't you take a walk? In my shoes, why don't you, baby, take a walk? Before you tell me what to do, why don't you take a walk? Why don't you take a walk? In my shoes, why don't you, baby, take a walk? Before you tell me what to do. Waiting here on this cold, lonely night without you. The tension's overbearing. Wondering, are you coming back home again? To inspire fondness with love. Where did our love go wrong? About you.
Welcome back, and thank you so much for joining us this evening on We Are Paradox Media's Late Night in the Rockies. This evening, it is I, myself, TessaTNT, and we're also joined by Psychic Medium, Mr. Craig Leaflorr. Welcome back, Craig, and thanks so much for hanging out with us tonight.
Thanks for having me.
So where do we go from here? What do we want to talk about?
Is there anybody online that has anything paranormal they need help with?
Definitely. And thanks for reminding me, because I totally spaced. I said I was going to do that, then I spaced it. But anyone who would like to call in about the war, about Putin, about any sort of paranormal hauntings or attachments, etc., please feel free to give us a call at 970-335-9596. That's 970-335-9596. And I'll put that in the chat room too, just in case.
So I'll tell you about another case I'm kind of working on.
Okay.
This one, so it's a couple with two daughters. I've been talking to them for about 2 years now. Due to the COVID, I'm not able to get across the border yet. I live in Canada, they live in Michigan. So she got a hold of another medium, I guess. They had a psychic show, and the medium said, if you don't move, your daughter's dead.
That's pretty drastic.
Yeah. She called me and told me what he said, and I kind of lost my shit. Because as a medium, even if that is the case,
you don't say that.
Never say it.
No.
You don't say that. You can't say that. And you are actually setting that scenario up by saying that. So, luckily, the girl was 15, I guess, when he said this, and said if you guys don't move by the time she is 16, she will die. So her birthday came and gone. She's still alive, but they are trying to leave this house. This house has multiple vortexes, and I've closed down 2 of them, but there's one in the child's bedroom. All farm animals: horses, pigs, ducks, chickens, turtles, cats, dogs, all die. Everything on that property that's an animal dies. They've bought multiple pigs, they die. So that was a vortex that's near the pen. But the daughter that is 16 is kind of more into the darker things and won't stop looking, which causes her more issues, right? The more you look, the more you'll find when it's the paranormal. So I'm working with the other daughter. She is opening up her third eye, and I'm doing pain management with the mother. But obviously their anxiety is through the roof. And we have to really take care of, we really have to.
Sorry.
There's so many fakes out there that work on fear, right?
Yeah.
And if you don't work with me, something else is going to happen. And something else is going to happen. And it pisses me off, you know. When you're put in that situation where you can affect someone's life by suggesting or showing them another path, that's a big responsibility. And you can't just be saying someone's going to die when they're not. I'm able to predict death up to a 3-month window, but I don't say it to them. And I've always been right. And it could be anybody. It could be some guy walking down the street. There's no rhyme or reason for this, except when I'm in the hospital and I can read everybody. That's a little different.
Hospitals are pretty different when that stuff is going on. Holy shnikes. Like, every time I'd go to the hospital to see Vern, I'd bring my St. Michael medallion and my tourmaline and whatever else to protect myself, because there's yucky things that hang out there. And it's
my whole body's going shivery.
Ew.
You know, it's, And that's what it is when you're walking down the hallway and you look in and go, fuck. That's, you know, and you feel that energy. And sometimes it's hate. Sometimes it's confusion.
Fear.
Sometimes it's love.
And fear is a big one. Like, what's going to happen?
Yeah. And when you can see it and feel it and know almost to the day of when it is going to happen. I know when my wife had leukemia and she was in hospital, I would be even just getting her water in the kitchen, like hospital little kitchen, and people just come up to me and just pour their shit out, right? And it happens. Don't even have to say anything. And they just do. But it's so hard knowing that things aren't going to work out, you know, and you try to
work past it or whatnot. It's so hard.
You know, you need to kind of, well, for yourself, you had to look at both scenarios.
Yeah.
And you had to figure out both scenarios. And it worked out amazing for you.
Yeah, for me, like, I was really scared from the get-go, and it wasn't till one point that I got really, really fucking scared, because I'm like, this is bad. Like, I'm holding his hand, and his hand is, like, coming apart in my hand, and he's all sucked up, and he's very pale, and he looks like death. Like, it looks like he's just alive because of the machines. And at that moment, I'm pretty sure he was going through a battle. And I'm pretty sure he told me that he saw Heavenly Father and his wife, the Heavenly Mother, and then beyond them, because they're sitting there holding each other in each other's arms, beyond them was a city, and the roofs were made of gold, or the houses were made of gold. And then beyond that, on Earth, there was mankind fighting over gold and all that other crazy shit that's going on down there. That was one of his visions. And he's like, if I could find somebody to paint that, I really want. And I'm getting goosebumps right now, but
I have an artist that paints that shit.
Hell yes. Please put me in contact, because I'd love for him to be able to talk to him and tell him what he saw. Perhaps...
Write it down, and I'll write it down.
Okay. I have my Sharpie out. And maybe put it across the air in case somebody else wants to use that too. Or use him.
Yeah. I don't know the guy personally. I saw a piece of his artwork today from Robert Murphy.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see shadow people, right? So those ones that are about 2.5 feet tall, they cause shit.
Yeah, those are
that's what their job is, right? That's what they do.
Yeah.
So he showed the winged shadow figure.
Oh, shit.
I'm going, yeah, that's the one. He goes, I don't see him, but my medium, she's an artist, and she drew it.
Oh, wow.
And they would go to other places, and people go, I've seen, where did you get that picture? I've seen that. And that's, so yeah, I'll see if we can do something about that.
That'd be awesome. Okay,
That'd be
so
cool, eh?
yeah, send that to me later, and then I'll post it on We Are Paradox Media on Facebook and Four Corners Paranormal Investigations as well. That way, people that have those visions and such can partake of that. Because yeah, he's like, if I could have this as like a 3-part painting, I don't know. I think that would really be important to him because it's so vivid in his mind right now, and he's still trying to get past like what is real and what was the other reality that he was living in there for almost a month.
Right. It's amazing how I called you out of the blue.
I'm so glad you contacted me.
All this was happening with you.
Yeah. I'm so grateful. And I don't know, I think about it every day. I'm like, remember how I called you about my sister? And then I was like,
Yep.
Why didn't I call him about Vern? Why didn't I call him about Vern? And I felt like we had it, but at the same time, I felt like you were already doing something. Am I wrong? I don't know.
I don't know why. I see you on all the time, right?
Yeah.
It's, I don't always say hello, but
me neither. I'm bad about that.
I had to. Yeah.
I'm so glad.
And I told you to bring music and let him heal.
And you know what? That was one of his memories too. He's like,
was it?
Yeah, he's like, I don't remember all the other music that you guys played because we had Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon, Pink Floyd, The Wall, and then we had Bob Seger's Greatest Hits, and then the girls were like, Dad likes Metallica, and I'm like, seriously? I've known this guy for 20 years. I know he likes to make fun of that Enter Sandman song, I've never done this with a man. Oh, yeah. Exit light, pillow bite. Yeah, he made up words just like my dad used to. But I'm like, I don't think your dad really liked Metallica, but if you want to buy that for him, that's cool. But yeah, he said he really remembered hearing Pink Floyd. And I was like, there was one day that I came in shortly before you woke up, and instead of just playing the CD, I made sure it went on repeat. And then I had to make sure it wasn't repeat of the same song because that would drive me nuts. So I had to sit there while the song finished, and that's the one where the lady does the whole a cappella, singing thing. And so I'm sitting there waiting for the song to end, and I'm like, yes, it went to the next song. We're good. But yeah, he remembers hearing Pink Floyd, and he said that was really good for him.
That's so powerful.
Yeah. Music is a healing prospect. I fully agree with that.
But to hear it, right? Like, we've never been there. We haven't been on to the other side. And to know what you did worked. And he heard it. You couldn't tell he heard it, but he still heard it.
Right.
And that's for anyone that has somebody that is in a coma. That's the proof right there.
And even with Alzheimer's, playing music that was important to them, that they really loved and enjoyed, that will bring them back to a certain extent. It's just like, go ahead.
Pink and Frank Sinatra. No, Pink and...
I think I know who you're talking about.
Tony Curtis.
Okay.
He has Alzheimer's. And she brought him on the show. And he could barely remember his wife.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as that music played, he just
snapped back. Yeah. It's amazing. I remember when I was in boot camp, I was thinking about, I miss my family. I miss watching TV. It wasn't until I was on the bus to go to the medical facility to drink that yucky ink drink where it goes into your system and it shows all the fractures and shit that the x-ray won't pick up on. So I drank that and I'm sitting there for hours. But anyways, on the bus, on the way there, where my jungle boot was, there's this major leather band that goes across the top of your feet.
Okay.
And where that was is where it fractured all the way across my feet. All my toes were fractured. Oh. Yeah, and I when that happened, when it finally fractured through my toes, my upper part of my toes, I fell almost onto my face, and I caught myself, and I got back up, and I was gimping along, and that night I took my boot off to check out my foot. Like, what the fuck is wrong with my foot? And this combat medic came over, and he's like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, my foot really hurts. I don't know what's going on. And he looked at it, and he's like, it looks like you have a break or major fractures, so unless you want to start all over again, I suggest you put this boot back on and don't take it off till you're done. And so I did, and I completed and finished, and as soon as I graduated, I went back to the hospital, and I was like, you guys need to check this shit out, because I'm broken. Kind of wish I would have gone to my first MOS school, but everything happens for a reason, right? So that's what happened. That's where I met my first daughter's dad, and now I'm a grandma.
There you go.
Yeah, Sandra's still waiting for her grandbaby to be born. There in Canada, they don't have enough doctors to deliver her daughter's child. I'm like,
what?
Yeah, they don't have enough doctors in the hospital to deliver her child, and I guess there's like 5 or 6 other girls there waiting that have to be induced.
So she came to Canada?
No, she lives in Canada. She lives in BC. Vancouver?
Okay.
Yeah, so she's...
Where in BC?
I want to say Vancouver, but...
Okay.
I may be wrong. Let me see if I can look and see. But yeah, she's been waiting since last night for her little granddaughter to be born. A little Sandraling. Oh, I'm super excited for her. I'm still trying to wrap my mind around being a grandma, but I don't know. My grandson is so precious. Oh, baby coming soon. So excited. She said 3 minutes ago the baby's coming.
Nice.
Yay. Pretty soon she's going to be a grandma too. We can start a grandma's club.
Tell her it doesn't hurt at all.
Oh, God. It does. But as soon as you see that baby's face, all that shit disappears.
Yep.
That love, overwhelms the pain.
I never felt anything. I was there.
Oh, you didn't feel the claws in your hand and shit? You stayed far enough away or what?
I was all in. All in there.
All up in it?
Yeah.
I know. My husband was telling my son-in-law, don't go below the waist. Don't cut the cord, etc., etc. And I'm like, you have to cut the cord. That's an important part of bringing this child into the world. You have to cut the cord. How could you not? But
I tried to push the doctor out of the way to deliver it myself.
You're like, get out of the way. I can do this.
You know what? I've had enough kids. I know how to do this shit.
I know you have
Get
fucking 13 or what? What? 10. Okay, I'm 3 over. Maybe I'm just predicting shit, but...
10 kids, 5 grandkids.
Wow. Yeah, I was like, you gotta do that, because that's like, that's so important to me. Vern is like, nope. He compared it to, okay, imagine your favorite ice cream. And then imagine somebody putting spaghetti into your favorite ice cream. He's like, don't do it. I'm like, just fucking do it, dude.
Don't do it.
Yeah, you can do it. It's important. I don't know. It's that connection thing with your child as it comes into the world.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love it.
And Vern wouldn't do it. He's like, nope. He never cut one cord.
I cut 2.
Oh, well, you're doing a lot better than him, but look at your odds. Had he had 10 kids, maybe he'd cut a couple.
Yeah. No, I really enjoyed every one of them. Obviously, I'm not the one in labor, right? But I found those moments are almost, well, there is no words to describe it, right? So it's, I'd have more, fuck.
You'd what?
I'd have more.
Yeah.
If I could.
I don't know. I'm the one, like I said, doing all the work and having to carry. And the last one, man, I feel like he was trying to bust through my pelvis the last 2. Okay, Floyd first and then Lily. But it was just like my pelvis was going to break at any moment. And then somebody posted on Facebook the other day about, could you Google why sawing machines were created? Oh my God. And then I Googled it, and it was due to childbirth and the child not being able to get out of the pelvis. So I'm like, is the mother dead at this point? Or what the fuck is really happening here? Because I'm pretty concerned at this moment. Are you really going to take a chainsaw to a living person? I don't know. I have to look more into it, more in depth. Isn't that crazy? Like,
That's
made for childbirth.
Yeah, no, that's, yeah, no. And I know it's true, it's real. That's what they did, right? Like, and I guess the mother didn't survive. No, really?
That's why I'm saying she has to be dead first, right? She has to be dead and the baby's still alive. So you're going to cut the pelvic bone, you're going to let the baby out, and the baby will live or not, depending on how much oxygen it has in its system. So please tell me this was after death, because could you imagine? Okay, so, and then I'm picturing it more. Maybe they made an incision first and then do that. But then at the same time, that is horrific. Chainsaw Massacre much?
There's not enough codeine in the fucking world.
Not enough codeine or morphine. Seriously. No. Holy fuck, Tars. Like, no. And
That's
then
gross.
I asked Sandra, I was like, did you hear about this? And she's like, yeah, my daughter just showed me that the other day. And I'm like, isn't that fucking morbid? Like, that's the most disgusting thing I think I've ever read in my life. I did not see it because there's no pictures, but I read it and I can see it in my head. You know, when you read something, can't you see it in your head? Yeah, that's enough. Sorry. But you had 13 kids. You should see enough blood and gore. I was kidding.
Right? Yeah, fuck. Have you heard of Hell's Gate?
I believe so. Is that the hole?
Yes.
Yeah. They throw dead animals in there and then the dead animals come back, kind of like Church, the cat?
No, that's Pet Cemetery.
No. Okay, so Church the cat is from Pet Cemetery. But there's this hole, and I believe it's in Mexico. And people actually throw their animals in there, and then their animals come back.
That would be cool to see.
That's what they say, but they say they're not the same.
Sober. I want to see that shit sober. Because I would definitely...
Yeah, I'd be like... Somebody put some, I want to say amethyst. What is that alcohol called?
A mosa. And shit, I want to take it.
I actually fed it to one person at the casino once, and it's not a mosa, it's something else. I'll have to Google it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It's almost like amethyst, but it's like a different form. It's like kind of the letters are switched around.
Well, amethyst is a stone.
Yeah, that's the purple stone that's good for anxiety and other things.
Yeah.
I'm saying it's almost like amethyst, but it's not. I have to look it up. But continue with what you were saying.
There's a hole in Russia that they've dug to the center of the earth.
Ooh.
So, supposedly, they hear something from the hole. They think it's their drill bit. And when they take, let's see, actually, I'll pull it up. They hear voices and
it's
scream.
Called absinthe. I knew I was close.
Yeah, well, that's one of them, yeah.
Yeah, absinthe is the one I fed to that guy, and he's a hardcore drinker. And he's like, I'll take a shot of absinthe, and then he took 3, and then he's just like, people are in the corner trying to keep this guy from tripping out too hard. But, sorry, continue.
Yeah. Okay, let me get out of here. Oh.
They say absinthe is an extremely potent liquor believed to cause hallucinations along with intense euphoria. It's also believed to have dangerous consequences such as those caused from acute alcohol intoxication. Ooh-wee, T-Shane. Only take one hit of that.
DMT.
Yes! I actually have some. My sister gave it to me and I still haven't touched it. I tried it twice with her, but I haven't tried it on my own because I don't want to do it by myself.
Fuck. I want to try. I want to put on my meditation and just fucking go for a flight.
Well, come fly down here, and then we'll go out to the tree fort, and we'll be doing some absinthe together. When I did it, oh my gosh. Okay.
I'll give you so many seeds and make your head spin.
I tried it, and I had my tree fort set up. I have these lights in there that are pine cone shaped lights. And then when you go out the doorway, you can see the kitchen window. And so I sat there and I took a hit of it. And I'm like, nope, not getting anything yet. And of course I'm drunk at this point because I have to get my liquid courage. And then I took another hit. She's like, this time make sure you hold it in. So I held it in. And then I started feeling the swirly durlies in my head. And so I let it out slowly. And then I look around and I see Donald. Donald looks normal. And then I look over at my sister and she looks like an Avatar princess. She looks so beautiful and she waved her hair around. And it's just like this kind of cartoonish wave. And she looks like a beautiful Avatar princess. And I look around at the trees and the lights and stuff. Like looking around myself. And the pine cones now look like hearts hanging in the trees. And then I look down the way where the kitchen light is, and it looks like a lit up doorway. And I'm just waiting for this high to end because it was really cool at first, but now I'm getting anxiety because I have no control over myself at this point. And so I'm like, okay, when's this supposed to end again? When is this going to be over? But yeah,
it's not illegal here. So,
is it illegal?
We can buy it. It's legal, yeah. So,
well, here,
we can have it here in Canada.
Yeah, here they legalized magic mushrooms because they're really good for mental health.
Yep. So I have that whole health. Who the hell? Okay. And it is a...
Well, not absinthe, sorry. That was pre-DMT. Okay, so DMT is what your body creates when you're dying. And that's where you go through your picture show of your life previous and whatever else comes along. Maybe your deceased relatives coming for you at Heaven's Gate, etc. Oh my goodness. But yeah, my sister tripped me out so hardcore because she was smoking it like it was weed. Like she was hitting it all the time. And I was just like, I don't understand that because I did it.
Really?
And it was so intense to me that I could not even think about doing it like that. Like to me, that really tripped me out because it was so intense. So intense.
Yeah, I'd be in on that.
Yeah, she's just like sitting there hitting that pipe the whole time. Even when we're in the car and Vern's like, can you roll down the window back there? Or up there, wherever she was sitting at the time. Because it smelled like a bad nursing home smell. When it burns, it does not have the most pleasant smell. It smells like very medicated. Very like a sanitized nursing home sort of smell. And
really, eh?
Yeah, kind of like death combined. But yeah, it does not smell good. It's not like weed where you're like,
I have this video here.
Okay.
You want to hear it?
Yes, please.
It is. I'll warn anybody. It really is going to freak you out. The sound is blood curdling.
So this is your warning. If you are very sensitive to certain things, please turn down your volume at this point. So how long is this video?
It's for 2 minutes.
Okay, 2 minutes. Mute your mic if you are very sensitive to this stuff. We are not liable, just so you know.
So I'm just going to be quiet and let it play.
The Soviet Union drilled a hole more than 12 kilometers deep in Siberia, which shares borders with Norway and Finland. The project to drill into the Earth's surface began in the 1970s, when Soviet scientists wanted to learn more about the Earth's crust. Over 2 decades, they managed to dig more than 7.5 miles down into the earth. The drill broke through into a cavity, and the scientists lowered some equipment to see what was down there. An extremely heat-tolerant microphone, along with other sensory equipment, were lowered into the well. The temperature was about 1,100 degrees centigrade, about 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. But the real shocker was the disturbing sound that was recorded. They only got about 17 seconds of audio before the microphone melted, but it was 17 horrifying seconds of the screams of the damned. The screams of the hell.
So
I
they
think I remember
attempted to
this.
drill
Is that
deeper.
where that hole is? And it's like perfectly drilled out. And this guy was doing a cell phone thing. Like he's destroyed so many cell phones doing different tests. And he used a drone to dip it in. First time he dipped it in, nothing. Came back out, and then he went back down the second time, and there was this horrific scream. Is that the same one?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, it's also been debunked.
Really?
Well,
How?
yes. Like, I'm going to try and find it because I got it in on this after we did our show a couple weeks ago. I meant to bring it up.
Yeah, that was on the 6th, so that was 2 weeks ago.
And I didn't. So, let's see if I can...
Yeah, that was interesting because you see him do the cell phone test, and he doesn't just throw it in and let it be. He uses a drone, takes the drone down into the hellhole, what they're calling it, dips it in, nothing happens, brings it back up, checks it out. Oh, still working. Takes it back on the drone, lowers it back down again, and that's when that scream came out. And it was kind of interesting to me looking at the different cubbies and crevices and stuff in there. Looks like there's a little cavern area to the right of it. So he dipped down, and there was this screaming noise, which was like hair-raising to me. What the fuck was that? And they're like, we don't even know what this was. It could have been like air bubbles or something at that point.
Yeah, it's... So, this video says Sounds of Hell Debunked. It's a 4-minute video. Let's see if I can.
There's a hole like this in Mexico, right? And
yes.
People go there and they throw their dead animals and other waste and trash and whatever else in this hole. And then the animals come back, kind of like Pet Cemetery. It's kind of creepy. They don't come back the same. They come back different, but I don't know if this is the same, if people do the same thing. I don't even see how an animal could crawl out of that crevice. Pretty strange, really. Pretty supernatural.
Let's see. What's it called? Mexico,
Hellhole?
Dead animals? Hey?
Mexican hellhole? Or hole to hell? I don't know. Sometimes you gotta put it different ways.
Yeah. No, that's not it.
Could it be like a vortex or something? Like, it is an actual hole in Mexico, right? Or am I tripping? I'm pretty sure it's in Mexico, the first one, and then I saw the one that you were talking about too. Because I saw that whole cell phone experiment that guy did.
Host.
Or is it Portal to Hell? What the frack is it called? Is there any relation when you look at that one that we were talking about with the cell phone to the one in Mexico?
Not yet.
Okay, so I see the Well to Hell is an urban legend regarding a putative borehole in Russia which was purportedly drilled so deep that it broke through into hell. It is first attested in English as a 1989 broadcast by the U.S. domestic region. Let me see, in Mexico? I know there was one closer. I remember that one, but I remember there was one in Mexico. Maybe it's my all the timers kicking in. I'm just kidding. Oh, okay. Exploring Mexico's sacred caves. That's different. But where are the 7 gates of hell on earth? Ooh. 2 versions of the legend exist, one involving a burnt insane asylum and the other an eccentric doctor. Both agree that there are 7 gates in a wooded area. Pennsylvania, blah blah blah. What the crack? I'm talking about Mexico, okay? Okay, let's see. I'm gonna open this one up. I think this would... Oh, it's the Isles of Muertes. The Isles of Death. Holy shit, hold on. Okay, the Isles Mujeres. Yeah, Isla Mujeres, Mexico hellhole. So, ISLAMUJERES, aka hellhole. That is where it is. Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. And I've seen that other one because I saw that whole experiment. So somebody said, what a hellhole this place is. It's dirty, loud, and just awful. Yeah, maybe this is not the same thing. Yeah, I'm thinking this is not the same thing. Oh, come on. Oh. Video senator says Mexican immigrants come from hellholes. Wow. I'm not going to back that up. I ain't saying that shit.
So what do you got?
Oh, it said, video senator says Mexican immigrants come from hellhole. So I'm curious who this senator was.
Yeah.
Let me see. Oh, Lindsey Graham. Oh, surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise. Well, then.
Yeah. Unreal.
In the hot, expensive Karakum Desert in Turkmenistan, near the 3,500-person village of Darvaza, is a hole. I'm still trying to find the Mexican one. Ooh. U.S. couple visited third world hellhole in Mexico. Killed. And then I see a great big mole on a lady's face. I think that's spam.
You see that one about the monk? Telling people to wake me up in 75 years?
Have you heard of that? That is pretty
Yes.
freaking crazy. These guys put themselves in such a meditative state that they can live for years without drinking or eating, but then people come in and feed them water or try to feed them food, but they're in such a state of meditation that they don't need
Right.
any of it.
And supposedly they can like burn things with their hands with energy, light paper on fire, do all that shit too.
Ooh.
Levitate. I'd like to see that.
That'd be interesting.
But it would be about frequency.
Right. And then I'm reading here about a hellhole of Fort Stanton Cave in New Mexico. Maybe that's it? Maybe it wasn't Mexico, it was New Mexico, but I don't think so. I'm still searching. If anyone in the chat room knows of what we're trying to talk about. Yeah, everybody says third world
Like-
hellhole, Mexico. Well, that's not the same. Go ahead.
I see another one here saying it looks like a bomb shelter where they have it marked hellhole, but they climb down, but there's nothing about animals.
Yeah. The one that I saw was just like the one that we're talking about previously, where it's drilled into the ground or not. Maybe it's a natural structure, but people throw their animals in there and other waste, and then the animals come back, and they're not the same. If you're familiar with Pet Cemetery's church, the cat, that's what we're talking about, or I'm talking about. But yeah, I cannot find it. Jeez, oh Pete, I wish I would have saved this shit. Because it keeps talking about Mexico is a hellhole, Mexico's hellhole, blah, blah, blah. These are all talking about the same thing. Gates of Hell. Holy shnikes, I think I found it on Wikipedia. So, the gates of hell are various places on the surface of the world that have acquired a legendary reputation for being entrances to the underworld. Often they are found in regions of unusual geological activity, particularly volcanic areas, or sometimes at lakes, caves, or mountains. So let me see. There's medieval gates, gates in the geological Roman world, so that's talking about Greece. So I guess they have some there. Mount Etna in Sicily, that's one. Hellmouth. Other gates, that's what I'm looking for. So, Derwiz, Turkmenistan, and then Nicaragua, China, Hawaii.
I found one that has something to do with Mexico.
Yeah, that's the one that like sticks with me, and I know I've read it, and I don't know if they like just erased it from the whole internet or what happened, but I remember there was one in Mexico. People were not only throwing their trash in there, but they were throwing dead animals and stuff in there, and then the dead animals would come back home, and they're like, what the fuck? So that was pretty intriguing to me, and now that I look, like, I cannot find it anywhere.
Yeah.
There's some in Kenya, Karakoram Pass, in Tibet,
Yemen, Antarctica,
Nicaragua. Yeah, I'm not seeing
Nevada.
anything about Mexico. I think they totally wiped the slate. They don't want anybody to know about it because they don't want you to throw your dead relatives or anything else in there.
I see one here. It's an abandoned well, and it's a beautiful aqueduct underneath. It's a huge chamber. Kind of cool. I always wanted, if there was I don't know, any kind of nuclear type thing, it would be like go in a chamber, right? An aqueduct. You would have water. You just hope a couple animals jump in the fucking hole with you, and you're good to go.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, get in that hole.
We're gonna dive down. Well, on that note, we do have to go to our second music break. So on this break, we have Prime Example with Power Play. Then we have Gravity from Krakow, Poland with Last Goodbye. Mr. Fred Johnson, the Toid from Canyon County, California with After Dark. You guys don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this music break.
Lord, save me. Teach me the lessons of life, won't you raise me? Because I tried everything under my hat, and I found all my plans were tears in the right. I need a hero, a real life to come around, to step in, to see me, and deliver a power play. Something to raise my head from the dust is the must. I find someone in whom I can trust. I must grow in knowledge, live what I learn. I'm so glad to meet you, yo, my name is Vern. Lead me any way that you're willing, and I'll share. I need your power play. Dreams to the front and all past behind. Memories of things you did so absurd. Came to the curb, now heard the word. Cause often we're low now, problems can write us. But with power from God, yeah, we all stand victorious. Listen to the seed, the knowledge and digest the rhythm. Because a trooper like Jay keeps it righteous. And express a prime example of a vocalist, adjust your bubble. Leroy is like dangerous trouble. Trouble if you want it, peace if you with it. Never before known of a man who can stand it, but so irrelevant. So kick it in if you will.
So that is in Mexico. I knew there was one. I couldn't find it anywhere.
Yeah. Here comes another one.
I'll be right back.
Powerful in knowledge, and now you're not guessing. When power meets the darkness, the devil's got you go. Let's mock that weasel, and now he's going loco. If you got a problem, God can solve it. Power from the churro, and you're in his outfit. Why must the fit stay dirty so filthy? Get off your rear and whitewash the pickings. Power for cleansing, power for sanitizing, power for us, power for the rising of the sun. Cause in your darkest hour, you can look up and express to feel the power up. I need your power play. Yeah. Comes another one.
things come unsaid. Streets of these are going to dead end. Listening to waves on windy days, standing by the wall, making sense of it all. So alone in the dark, all alone in the dark, all alone in the dark. You're alone in the dark. 'Cause I won't let you go. You're so far away, always with my soul. I won't let you go. Oh, you're so far away, always with me in my soul. Yeah, yeah. Looking for a reason, not a lead. Mystified, lives inside a world, selling her soul. Oh, she's alone in the dark, all alone in the dark, all alone in the dark, so alone in the dark. 'Cause I won't let you go. I won't let you go. You're so far away, always with me in my soul. Yeah, yeah. And I won't let you go. And I won't let you go. My driver pulls up in my limousine, ready to take me anywhere I want to be. I said, I want to go. Take me to a college scene. I'd like to go and dance, have drinks, and hunt the perfect day. Yeah. Living at the dark, I search lonely streets to find hidden shadows in the dark. It doesn't matter what I say. Secret homicides arranged in a series of pursuits. No matter what I say, after dark, I gave her base because she had the range. I knew she was the one that never could go home again. Plastic life like limo seats. I don't know why I can't control this urge to hurt again. Yeah. Living at the dark, I search lonely streets to find hidden shadows in the dark. It doesn't matter what I say. Changes in the sky, murder forever after. No matter what
Welcome back, and thank you so much for joining us this evening on We Are Paradox Media's Late Night in the Rockies. This evening, we have Psychic Medium Mr. Craig Leaflorr. Welcome back, Craig.
Hi, how are you?
Yay! I can hear you now. I was like, what? I couldn't hear you before. That was weird.
So
I think we're having some technical issues, but we got over that pretty quick.
Right on. So I couldn't find anything else about that type of pet cemetery in Mexico.
Yeah, it's not really a pet cemetery. It's just like a hole in the ground. But you did find something, right?
They yes. See if I can find it again. Now there is they do have a certain amount of time they spend with their dead.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of their beliefs, I guess, that they spend a couple of weeks with them before they put them in the ground.
Yes, and then they have Dia de Muerta, so the Day of the Dead, which I love, and it's around the time of Halloween. That's pretty cool too, but yeah, I could not find anything on my internet server as far as the hole in the ground in Mexico, which I know it was there. Yeah. Maybe it was Nicaragua, but I think it's Mexico. And then I saw something on New Mexico. I'm like, well, maybe it was New Mexico. So what did you find?
Nothing on Mexico. I got Yemen. I have even in Colorado. There's
seriously.
Yeah.
That's weird. So nothing in Mexico. What was the one in Colorado? I'm curious now.
It was a cabrin. Let's see if I can find that one. I keep running into people who claim to have gone to hell. I think we need to do a show on hell.
That'd be interesting. I'd love to do that. Hit me up. Let me know. And it doesn't have to be just you. We could have like different people on, like you're talking about.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Even try to find somebody that says they've died and come back and went to hell.
Well, I didn't die and go back, but the most vivid dream I ever had was the one where my bed was tilting up and up and up and up till I was sliding down my bed, about to go into this hole of molten fire and brimstone. And I can even smell the smells. The only thing that kept me from going in was putting my thumbs in under my baseboard, which, you know, today's baseboards are like right there, either at or above the surface of the mattress. This one was about 3 inches down. And I had to dig my freaking thumbs in there to keep from falling in that hole. And then I'm a very still sleeper. I still am today. I stay in my same spot. The only thing that wakes me up is like the flick of a light switch or somebody walking into my room. What do you want? What do you need? I slid down my bed that night. I was only held on by holding myself up from the baseboard of the bed. I was going to go to hell, and then I woke up at the base of my bed. I don't do that. I always stay in one place. And I woke up and I was like, that was the most fucked up dream I ever had. And yes, I had a very large vocabulary of words, I must tell you. As a kid, my dad even busted me once cussing at the neighbor kids for picking on my brother. But yeah, I had a very broad state of words, and I was like, that was a very fucked up dream. And then I was sniffing. Did I still smell it? And it wasn't sulfur and brimstone. It was like a cherry flavored sort of tobacco. And I'm like, My grandma and grandpa don't smoke that. I can actually find the tobacco thing, but it's a velvet tobacco, velveteen tobacco velvet, I believe it was. Very sweet, very nice. Not like cherry, but it still has a sweet little tinge to it. Nope, wasn't that. It was cherry. And I saw this man in my doorway. I thought it was my grandpa. I didn't have a door. I had 2 yellow curtains that were made of lace on the side. They were open, not closed, of course. And yeah, he was standing there. I thought it was Grandpa at first until he took a puff of that cigar. And it lit up his face and what he was wearing. And I saw his hair was slicked back. He was the most gorgeous man I'd ever seen, even more gorgeous than my first crush, which was a dead guy named Elvis. Yeah, he was more gorgeous than that. I was just like, oh my God. And then he's wearing this tuxedo sort of thing. He had the black suit top, he had the white shirt, he had the bow tie, looking all very debonair, and I knew who it was immediately. And I didn't even have to say it out loud. I just said in my head, God stands before me, Satan fall behind, and just like that, I was knocked out. I didn't have to talk to him. But then years later, when we had a family reunion, I told that story, and my dad turned white as a sheet. He's like, no fucking way. And I'm like, what, Dad? What? Your mom told the same story, except for he was right next to her bed, and they had a lengthy conversation. Luckily, I didn't have to talk to that motherfucker. So I'm kind of grateful.
Yeah. Totally.
Not kinda, but really, really grateful.
Yeah.
Because who knows where I'd be right now. I'd probably be dead and not even bugging you guys with my radio show.
That would be a different story, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I am not seeing anything from Mexico.
Okay, no worries. Well, let's move on, because I think they're hiding that for some certain reason.
Yes.
Maybe they don't want them to be throwing their dead loved ones in there and stuff, because there's a lot of turmoil going on down there. So maybe they're like, oh, nope, this place doesn't exist. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Because everybody looks on the internet for different things like that. Besides COVID, this is the biggest year for sickness for my kids. Even last year, when I did homeschool, it's like, I don't remember my kids being sick not once, but now they're all sick. And then Jason, aka Sleepy Dave's daughter, got sick, and I'm just like, holy shit. There's some sort of other sort of thing going on.
I'd have to say we've been lucky with all that. My son ended up catching COVID. Older son, he works, and none of us got it. Out of 6 people, or 7 people, including him, and he got it, and we didn't. We had to quarantine with him. So it was, thank God.
Well, I think that's a good thing, because right away he knew something was wrong. You guys quarantined. Basically, you're in your own rooms. Like I said, my kids have been sick recently. And then Jason's daughter got sick. And then my daughter, who's been taking care of my husband this whole time, got sick. And so she's here now. And it's just like we're all kind of hovering here. I did want to go in and say hello to him and give him a kiss and whatever else earlier today, but I can't, because even though I'm not sick, I could be carrying, because I'm around these sick motherfuckers all the time, and it's just like, what the fuck do you do? I'm just gonna stay away from you, even though I want to be near you. I can't, because if you get sick and die, I'm gonna blame myself. And I'm not going to go through that shit. I'm not going to do it.
No, not worth it.
So yeah, I keep going in and I'll open the door and they have an entryway between their house and the main door. I'm so grateful for that. Like, that used to not exist. So yeah, now I just hang everything on the inside door, and he's like, I heard you come by earlier. How come you didn't come in and give me a kiss? Well, I don't want to infect you with whatever the fuck is going on here. Maybe because I take my vitamins and stuff, I'm doing okay, but every kid in the house, even Nova, who is not here for the most part, she came here a couple times to clean house, etc., she's sick too. So yeah, I'm not gonna take that down there and get the newborn baby sick, my grandson, and then my husband too.
No.
Not me, baby.
Nope.
I'm glad you agreed, because I was feeling kind of guilty and like narcissistic. I'm like, am I making the wrong decision? Because I know he's feeling really bad about it and really wants me to come see him, and I want to too, but I don't know. It's not worth it. I got cooties around me.
It'd be scary.
Mm-hmm.
Either way. So, yeah, he doesn't need any of that.
Or that newborn baby either. He's not even a month old yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel fine. That doesn't mean I'm not carrying it. It's just like with COVID. People feel fine and they carry it all over the fucking place.
Yeah. And you're none the wiser.
So now they're getting rid of COVID restrictions as far as getting rid of masks. I'm still going to wear mine because, you know, I'm cootie related as far as I'm afraid of cooties. So I'd rather have these 2 layers in front of my face and instead of you breathing or coughing in the aisle I'm walking through. Are you doing that too? Or if that's too personal, just let me know.
Way too personal. I can't handle that.
I know you're being sarcastic.
Yes. No, I'm wearing my mask. Everything is opening up. We're no more vaccines, no more mandates, no more shit. Life's just gonna go on.
I don't trust it.
I didn't trust the shot.
Oh, me neither.
And I'm one of those guys that didn't get the shot. And I didn't allow my children to get the shot.
Yeah, me neither, and me neither, and me neither again. Because they went from 5 to something years old and younger now. I'm like, I can't believe it.
They have the flu shot out here. I don't know if they have it in the States, but they have a flu shot.
Yeah, I don't take it.
No.
Unless I'm pregnant, if I have another life to think about, then I'll take the shot. But if it's just me, I'm like, fuck it. I'm not going to do it because every time I do it, I get sick.
Yep. And they say, or they say, wearing a mask will keep you safe from others and others safe from you. Okay, perfect. Thank you. That's really all I need to know.
Well, look at doctors in surgery, you know?
Pardon?
Doctors in surgery, they wear masks.
Yep. So, I'm still going to follow that kind of directive.
Me too. And I'm not paranoid, except for I am, but I'm not. I'm paranoid about certain things, but not that. But yeah. I'm going to protect myself. And my husband's like, oh, well, you know, it's not like you're wearing the medical mask. And I'm like, okay, this mask has like 3 different layers. So I feel pretty safe. And when I'm breathing and it goes in and out and in and out, pretty sure the pressure and all this other shit is correct as far as keeping shit out. If you breathe and nothing's happening, obviously not putting a barrier. But if you breathe and it's going in and out, it obviously has a barrier.
Yeah. I do find it hard to breathe wearing them.
Yeah, it is. And it gets really humid, too. I fucking hate it.
Yeah. So, I don't like that part, but yeah, well, what do you do, right? If it means someone else's health or something, it's 2 minutes for me to put it on in a store. if I'm going to someone's house, I obviously feel comfortable enough to go to someone's house. I don't need a mask. And I guess if they want me to wear one, then I guess I would. But I'm not someone that goes out places, right? Like I'm a
me neither.
home body.
I'm
right?
a hermit, and I'm proud.
Yeah. So, if I
Don't judge me, just look at my show.
Yeah. If I was a waiter or something like that, or
that'd be totally different.
Totally. So, I'll still wear my mask. The children it's still mandatory for them to wear it in school, which I agree with.
Yeah. I think my kids.
I do not agree. I don't agree being forced to take it.
No, me neither. I think my kids are forced to wear it on the bus, but then when they're in the classroom scenario where there's like 9 or 10 or less people, they don't enforce it. So I think on the bus they wear it, and I send them from the door to the bus with a mask on because it keeps your face warm during this winter season. But yeah, they go onto the bus, they're wearing their mask. Once they get to school, into their classroom, they can take off and they can speak and whatever, admonish, whatever the word is for it. I don't know. It's just pretty scary because every day I get emails from the school, the kindergarten class, the second grade class, blah, 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 and it's like dancing around my child's classes. And I'm like, when the fuck is it going to hit my child's class? Yeah. Had I sent her to school not testing her, thinking she just had a cold and she actually had COVID, then the class would be fucked. But I did my part. We went. Right. We got the swabs the first time, all negative. Second time, it was the spit test. And they say it's not as accurate as getting the swab, but yeah, we all tested positive because we were. For Christmas. Merry Christmas. You have COVID.
Wow.
Yeah. We opened presents and went back to bed. That was our Christmas. Oh my God, I still have the Christmas ham in there. I need to throw that shit out. That's so gross. I'm still waiting to make cranberry sauce.
Yeah.
Did you guys get COVID at all?
Just my one boy, and that was it.
That's good.
And, every time we tested ourselves, we were negative.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of feel that in the very, very, very beginning of COVID, we got sick, me and the wife, for 2 weeks.
Yeah, it was February when we first got really sick. Yeah. It was worse.
It was.
Yeah, worse than this time.
And we were just beat, man. Like, no energy.
Yeah.
And other than that, we were good. So we were saying, like, in the beginning, obviously, I wasn't fucking bad. Right? If that's what COVID was, the fuck's the problem?
Yeah, my husband, he's like, I gotta go to the hospital. I'm like, I was so pissed off because I'm like, I don't want to go to the hospital. I don't want to be admitted because then they're going to try to fucking keep me. And so I just went and I just sat there like this, all mad with my arms crossed. And I let him do his thing. And I'm like, I ain't saying shit. I ain't positive. I ain't But I stayed in the room until I left. Yeah. At first he got steroids and he got codeine and he got all kinds of different drugs for that. I have like a whole line of shit he got from getting COVID lined out on the table in case when he comes back he might need it. Especially that codeine syrup. But anywho's. Yeah. No, he's getting better and he's stronger and stronger every day, and that's very fucking awesome. Still, I can tell, like, I have to go out every night. I go and get a cart of wood, and when I come in, I sound like I'm having an orgasm. Like, I'm just huffing and puffing, and it's like no tomorrow. And then finally I'm like, I can breathe again. And then I was talking to my sister Sandra last night.
Orgasm?
Yeah, like an orgasm where you like really short of breath and you know what I'm saying. You're huffing and puffing for
go on,
air.
continue.
No, I
Continue.
won't. Yeah. Oxygen. The sweet nectar of life.
Right?
But they're saying no matter how small or big your COVID disease is, you will have a pulmonary effect. So there's some sort of thing going in your pulmonary system that you're going to have a certain disease now because you got motherfucking COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah. Unreal, eh? And especially knowing...
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, no Harry Met Sally shit, and that's what Robert said too. High five. Harry Met Sally when she's like doing her orgasm in the middle of a cafe.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
But that's how I feel like every time I bring in wood. I'm like, man, I'm sure Jason's like, that sounds real nice. And I'm like, this is so bad.
Hurry up, just get it over with.
No. Oh God, oh shit. I can't breathe. Yeah, that's what it is.
You'd be getting wood every 5 minutes.
Yeah, I wish I could wake up with wood. That'd be nice instead of having to go out and get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do that before I go to bed because I'm smarter than that. I don't wait for wood to happen.
Right. Oh, I'll leave that right where that is.
That's a good place to leave it.
Right.
Yeah, it looks so pretty over there.
So, any questions from people that are listening?
No, Robert's over here making smart-ass comments. He's like, call in Putin's paranormal poltergeist performance anxiety. And then he also said, oh, none of that Harry Met Sally shit, Tess. And then he said, choke me harder, Daddy. Yeah, that's what he said.
All right.
We really have no questions. I think most of our chat room is pretty paranormally informed. And things have been kind of slow lately. Like the last big thing I saw was the night that Vern got put on the tube. And I was just like, God, what the fuck, God? Like, why the fuck are you doing this? You know, screaming to heaven instead of praying. I was screaming. And then I left my office and I went to bed and I was just sitting there crying and sobbing and I don't know, that's when something came to me and I don't know, it told me they're taking care of it, everything's okay, but at the same time, like, how can you believe that? Could be just like ignorance, bliss, whatever. But yeah, it was almost a month before he came out of that medical-induced coma and the tube. You can't be on the tube without being put in that because you'll try to rip it out.
And normally, after 2 weeks, you do not recover from that tube coming out.
Yeah, they were calling him the miracle child, and he turned it into Miracle Man. I'm like, okay, I respect your manhood. So you're not the miracle child, you're the Miracle Man. I respect that.
And they didn't do the tracheotomy.
They did, and he's still trying to heal from it. Like, it's getting better and better every day, and I think when I helped him with his shower the other day, when I was drying him off, I think I accidentally hit him in the throat, and I didn't mean to do that, but I'm, like, trying to take care of this area, and I think that's the first point that I hit, and he's like, he put his hand out, and I was like, fuck. You know, I knew I hit something bad, and then I went around it, and went all around, and on his back, and everywhere else, but... yeah, I think I accidentally hit his trach area where he's trying to heal. So I'm hoping I didn't, like, tear off some scab or something that's helping that area to heal. But he's doing really good. He's, like, wanting them to sew it up because he's like, I'm over this. get me the fuck out of here. And they're like, nope, we're not going to do it. It'll heal on its own. And he's like, how ugly is this? And it's really not. And if you're really worried about it, get a fucking tattoo. Seriously. But yeah, he's doing so good. I'm so proud of him. He is so strong. And he's so hard-headed. He's just not gonna let shit go down. Seriously. He's just here to make me miserable for the rest of my life. I'm just kidding.
You should give him a guitar.
Oh, yeah, he's a bass player. And his bass is actually in pawn. But there's a cousin of his that was talking about buying him a Thunderbird for therapy. Yeah. That's a really good motivator to go through therapy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a bass player. When I drive the truck around, like, the bass is turned up so high, I haven't changed it out of respect, but I'm like, that's higher than I'd like it to be. But he's a bass player, so he likes to hear the bass. And yeah, it's pretty interesting.
It'd be good physiotherapy.
Yes. So if he gets that Thunderbird bass, if anybody knows where he can get one of those, he's been searching online everywhere. He can't seem to find one. I'm like, they're so rare. Everybody is like hoarding them. No way in hell, unless somebody's really, really desperate, will somebody find a Thunderbird bass.
I'm pretty sure my son has one.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I need to fucking play the thing.
Okay.
He has no use for it. Mark that down.
That is freaking awesome. Okay, I have to give you the name of his cousin online. Holy shit, I have to text him right now.
So we got artwork. We got a bass. And there's another one. What was the other one? Oh.
Did we talk about artwork?
Talking about hell.
Yes, we talked about how it is. No. We have a little less. Okay, about 23 minutes. 20 minutes left. I'm just going to message Vern real quick and say, hey, guess what? Somebody knows where one of those is. Give me the contact. So I can send that contact to you, and maybe you could pass it on to your son, or however you guys want to do it. You should be the mentor on that, because he is probably so young. How old is he?
My son?
Yeah.
He's 18.
Okay. Yeah, still pretty young.
19.
Yeah, I have to let Vern know.
I think he's sitting at the table.
What?
Yeah.
He's what?
Cameron. Come here, son. I'm talking about you anyways.
Come on in, Sonny Jim. Hey, only me and your dad can see you, so don't be scared.
Yeah.
Hello.
Everybody can hear your voice.
Okay.
Say hi.
How's it going?
Hi. Good to see you. How are you?
A bass? What do you mean?
Do you have a bass?
Guitar? No, not electric. There's no electric.
Is it Cameron?
You don't have a Thunderbird?
Has a bass?
No. Connor used to have one.
So, do we still have it?
No, not that I know of. Connor got rid of it a long time ago.
You think so?
Yeah.
Ask him. See what he says, because my husband just came out of a COVID coma. And
so if we do have it, it's here.
That'd be awesome.
I thought we did. So, I got lots of shit.
Me too. I need to have yours, so.
Hey, you're 21. Yes, I know, son. But
congratulations!
Yes. Thanks for reminding me, son.
Aw. Well, it's an important date for kids. Come on.
When you have 10 kids and 5 grandkids,
I
don't fucking know how old they are.
But hey, that's an important date for kids. Is I turned 21. I can legally drink now, Dad. What do you think about that?
You can go to the beer store for me.
Hell yes. I would send my daughter, but, she's got a kid she's breastfeeding, so I can't really do that. My next one is 18, so I have to wait a little while.
Yeah, a little while for that one.
Yeah, it's all good.
No, I thought I saw a base.
A face.
I don't
Oh,
know.
a base?
Yeah.
Oh, that's all good. You never know. It could be there and nobody knows about it because it's in storage or whatever. They're like, oh, there's that base Dad was talking about.
I thought
That'd
it
be
was red.
so awesome.
Was your guitar red, son? He's gone.
They're very swift. It's hard to keep a hold of them, really.
21.
Huh?
Yeah, can't believe he's 21 already.
Oh my gosh. My daughter's 22, almost 23, and my second daughter is going to be 18 on the 12th of March. And like I was saying earlier, like I was in January on the show, and then when it came to my son's homework, I was in February, so I was not even in the month that I should have been in either time. And I was not fucking drunk or fucked up this whole time. I was just in a state of not reality.
Yeah, but I'm 2 years under his age. Not a couple months, 2 years.
Yeah, I've done that too. Where you're lost on the years.
Call them every name but their own.
Yeah, the years for me are worse than the months. Like, I don't know. But as far as your kids, I can see what you're saying. Like, it makes you feel really, really bad when it comes to your kids. You're like, I'm sorry, son. Or, yeah, I knew that.
I do it all the time, though. So it's not the first time they've heard it, because they heard it with their other brother.
Yeah, like, oh, man.
So,
I never thought it'd be me.
After, like, 6, 7, 8, 9, the 10, it doesn't matter. I can't remember.
Man. Yeah, because they can't remember before then. Seriously.
It's all good.
Oh, shit. Yeah, Robert's getting pretty dirty tonight, he said. Oh, none of that Harry Met Sally shit, Tessa. Choke me harder, Daddy. Because I told you, and anyone astraling, a state of perplexion. Indeed. I've had lots of those recently. I'm like, where the fuck am I? Who are these fucking people?
Yeah.
Is that what he means, or what do you mean? What do you think when somebody says a state of perplexion?
Well, you have to be looking at yourself.
Yeah, perception to me would be looking at your reflection or looking at yourself in a mirror. But perplexion, isn't that like deeper, like your soul or something?
Yeah.
I don't know. What is perplexion?
What's your complexion saying, right? Because complexion would be someone seeing your complexion. So it'd be what people are seeing.
I said Tate. A state of perplexion.
Perplex.
It's like reception, like seeing yourself or whatever, but at the same time, maybe it's like seeing yourself and your kid. Is that what it means? Seeing yourself and your kid? I don't know.
Feeding yourself and your kid?
Oh, yes. That's it. Whipping yourself. I am a bad girl.
I'm going to get the wood soon.
I deserve nothing. I suck. Okay, I got it. Hello, Rumi. Good evening, Gentile person. Yeah, I don't know, perplexion. I think that's a reflection, but something different. So seeing yourself in another person? That's what I got. Unfortunately, he happens to be Ukrainian. I'm sorry, Rumi. But your people are standing up hard. What do you think about how Ukraine is doing?
I just want to say sorry we're not there.
Oh, me too. I'd be there.
Yeah, me too. But no problem. Give me a gun. I'll do the best I can.
Me too. I'd be like, oh shit. That is so hard to say.
I'm wondering if some of the soldiers from Canada and the States just went there to help. Because I know that happened in Afghanistan when...
Yeah, they're not going to wait for the government, right? They're just going to do it on their own.
Yeah.
I admire that. I think that's awesome because the government can take for fucking ever, just like they are right now. They need you right now. They just had another State of the Union where they're like, we need the Western countries, etc. We need you guys right now. Everybody's like, oh, I don't know about that. So if you wait on your government, it's going to take forever. If you just go out as a, what do they call that? Not a martyr.
Just a show of force.
Well, yeah, where you're going as a free agent. So as a free agent, you're going to go over there and you're going to try to protect this country instead of waiting for the government. And then there's different formations built from that. And I really, really, really admire that because instead of being a State of the Union or a piece of military, you're actually going out there on your own and you're actually putting your life on the line for these other people. And they really, really need it right now. Like they're handing out these weapons to civilians. They're doing anything they can just to protect themselves.
And even I remember their president is fighting as well.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not hiding. I'm right here. I'm right here in this building where I said I'd be the whole time. And he showed like 4 different people that were in his regiment at that time. He's like, we're all here. We're all here waiting for you, Putinani, a.k.a. Putin. Yeah, I like to call him Putinani because I don't really respect that motherfucker. But seriously, like, people are out there putting their lives down. There's civilians out there. And like they said, they outlawed people from the age of 20 to 60 from leaving the country. And I remember seeing this girl in the subway, and she's holding her baby in one arm and her phone in the other, and her phone's drooped down, and she's like, just looking so depressed because she can't even get through to her husband. I don't know about you, but this last week, even my cell phone service is fucked up.
Yeah, no, they hacked our... They're already saying that Russia did hack Canada, and I'm sure they hacked you guys.
They hacked us too, yeah.
And it's all through Facebook and our phones. That's how they're doing it. And, you know, if you want my picture, take it. You know?
Yeah, bring it on, bitch. I ain't skirt.
Yeah.
I got plenty of weapons here and plenty of ammo.
So, I'll even dress up.
Yeah, I'll get all purty. Oh, you're so purty anyways.
Yep. Get naked.
Get naked. Get happy.
Yep.
When I was a kid, you couldn't keep clothes on me or shoes. I'm like, blah, blah, blah. Just running around willy-nilly. I have to send you some pictures of what I had. I shared it in the We Are Paradox Media chat room, but yes, I'll share those with you too. Because one, I'm holding a beer bottle because I used to steal my dad's beer and drink them when I was really little. And I was like, yeah, I got this beer bottle. And then one, I'm just like, you big people need to really fucking listen to me right now because I have something serious to say. I will share these pictures with you because they are freaking awesome. And they're like, where's your kids' baby pictures? Well, some are in baby books and some are in boxes. And some are on the internet.
We just have stacks of computers.
Where are all your baby pictures?
With photos on them. I have none.
What?
I don't have a lot of myself.
No, not you. Like, I have a few of myself that I shared like, you know, just a thing about me and when that certain thing happened. But as far as my kids go, like, I have too many baby pictures because I'm just like so proud. Look at this little thing that I created.
I don't show them. I have a family, like personal family one, Facebook, that I don't go on. You know, if you want to call me, call me. You know my number. So, you know, message me. And then the rest is just my groups, and I don't add my children or my wife to it.
Yeah, that's pretty private, but at the same time, I share my stuff with my friends. The ones I trust. Not just anybody, because you never know who could be a perv, but...
Right.
With my online family, and my daughter likes to throw that in my face all the time. She's like, oh, all your online friends. I'm like, well, at least I fucking have some friends. But I don't say that because I don't want to hurt her feelings like she's trying to hurt me. But I do believe I have online friends like you and Jato, Mr. Jason, Sandra. Now I have one of my online friends living with me right now. Because I didn't know if my husband was going to live or die. I'm like, come here. I can help you and you can help me. Hopefully, since we're not that close, you won't fuck me over.
Right.
It's been going good so far. It's been less than a month and we're doing pretty good. But my husband, since he's back, he's like, what the fuck is this? No, I think he's kind of jealous. Yeah. And there's no reason for it. But I know if I was in his place, I'd be fucking jealous right now. I would have crawled down the driveway already.
Yep.
I can't walk, but I will fucking crawl and I'll come beat this bitch's ass. But yeah, there's nothing like that going on. He's like my brother. I can barely stand. No, I love you, Jason, just so you know. Yeah.
As long as if it works, it works, right?
Yeah, I had to quit thinking he knows what I'm thinking and what I need. And then I had to say, I need you to do this and this and this and that and that and that. And please place your butts in the driveway and yada yada. And he's like, okay, no problem. I just had to say it because, you know, common sense is not a flower that grows in everyone's garden. So I kind of had to spell it out for him. He's like, okay, no problem. And now everything's all better again.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. It's just so weird.
Yeah.
But it's good because we are helping each other. And now that he knows where I stand, everything's much better until it's not. We'll see what happens.
Well, there's a time for everything, right?
Yeah, and then guess what? He paid me like $300 in 20s today, and I was saying I could just say I was stripping.
Yep.
Yep. Yep.
Good night.
These are $300 from stripping. This is just a portion of it. I'm just kidding.
Right? Only 10%.
Yeah, you know. No, but it's been good. Like, I don't know. I just have to guide him because even with the bus stop thing, he's like, they won't get me on the system. They won't do it. What the fuck? Why is everybody against me? And I'm like, quit fucking talking like that. Like, it's making me dizzy just thinking about it. I'm like, quit fucking talking about that. Just go up the road, the address I gave you, or call the motherfuckers. But most obviously, go up the road, get a hold of this dispatcher or whoever the fuck else, and let them know what your status is, where you're living, where you need the bus route for your kid. We have 2 kids already. We used to have 3, even 4 at one point, but now we're down to 2. We're cutting down to when I can finally fucking retire. But yeah, Mel was trying to get on the bus because Jason was driving her every day, and yeah, now it's finally working out until she got sick. Now she can't even take the fucking bus. But yeah, that's how life works.
Just, yeah. Yep. And it's nice to have friends that help you out, right?
Yeah. And that's what I was saying. You would think that, but sometimes you have to, like, write it down or say something, because, like, people don't just look around and say, oh, I should do this or I should do that or blah, blah, blah. Because I'm living here, you have to be like, could you do this and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And then they're like, oh, okay, I'll do that. And then it works out just fine.
Yeah.
What the crack? I don't know. I'm looking at an Australian and a Canadian from Toronto talking. I would say Toronto, but he says Toronto.
Toronto.
Yeah. I'll never post pics of my kids anywhere. That's just me. Hi, Tessa. Hugs, hugs. Robert says, and you didn't even get the bra off. What the crack? Nope. Sometimes you just have to lift the bra up. You know, it just depends on what's going on in your world. Oh, Robert. I've been thinking about making him my comedic sidekick.
Why not?
I know. He's so fucking funny all the time. I'm just like, man, I need you as my comedic sidekick on the show, so when I say something, you can follow up with some funny riff or whatever, and
No,
yeah.
that's funny?
Yeah.
Because you're not funny?
No, he's very funny. He cracks me up all the time. This one was not so funny, but yeah. Generally, he's very funny. So we have less than a minute before we go to the outro. Is there any place that our listeners could find you, contact you for help, or etc.?
Just look for me under my name, Craig S. Leaflorr. I'm more than willing to help with any paranormal case or help hook you up with somebody. And love and light. And just try to have love in your heart for everyone.
That's right. And it's really hard to do that sometimes. It's like, I have so much stress in my life, I don't want to make eye contact or wave or smile at that person. Even if you can't give them money, just wave and smile to let them know you are still a human and I acknowledge you. It's very important. But thank you so much for being my guest tonight, Mr. Craig Leaflorr. It was awesome having you. For the last moment, I'm so grateful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Craig. You're awesome. And thank you to all of our friends on We Are Paradox Media's KPNL Radio, Facebook, Twitter, iHeartRadio, and wherever else beyond the Omniverse you are listening tonight. I did indeed have a wonderful time, and I can't wait to do it again tomorrow night when we go into the paranormal with Miss Liz Milne. She's from Scotland. I've been trying to hook her up with Jim Morris from Scotland, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. So you guys, don't forget, we're all in this together. Together, we can make the world a little better. And together, my friends, we are Paradox Media, because without you, there is no us. So, if you would like to join us on the Skype after party, look us up and send us a contact request at tessa.n.thomas30, or give us a little jingle jangle at 1-970-335-9596. Until next time, nighty night, love and light. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend and take care of my news. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. It's been awesome. And that's a wrap.